X-TCG Kingdom, bringing you my new Ruby Amber deck, the Great Canadian A. It is a deck based around Ruby and Amber's brother bear archetype and a bunch of the cards that represent Canada. This gameplay and deck is brought to you by Realm Hoppers Cards and Collectibles. Make sure you grab your singles from us today. If you're Canadian, let's do this. Now let's on to the deck profile. Here's the deck here. We are trying to use as much Canadian-based characters that represent Canada in this deck as possible. It is an aggro deck with some forms of control. You're using your Kenai, which is the big bear, if you haven't noticed yet. He actually says that your opponent cannot target your Coda with challenging as long as this character is suspended or exerted, which makes it a very interesting play where your Coda can keep questing uninterrupted. You will have your Coda be a good source of lore in the deck, and then we're using Le Maire. He's French, and represents a little bit of Canada there. His power boost on the characters will help stop things that like brawls against yourself, against little Sisus and other kill cards that require a certain attack value to be used. It also helps you deal with targets on the field too. We are using the Took and Rut. They are both moose and they are another representation of Canada, but one Rut actually gives support when he quests to one of your characters, which support does come up a lot in the deck. That's what the Maximus can actually achieve too with the questing on him. He actually gives support to one of your other characters. You're playing a bunch of 5-cost like horses, and the one last Ruby card for Brother Bear, and he's just a quester, but he has a big attack and big life on him for his exerted spot there. There is also going to be a little bit of a draw engine here with the Rapunzel and the Invited to the Ball. That actually will help you a lot. And then we're going to just in time out some of these 5-cost characters or less, just to help get some of the characters out faster. We are also using some lanterns to help bring out characters quicker, and then we are using a couple of songs. Lost in the Woods actually is coming up really interestingly in the deck, where it minuses 2 off all your opponent's attack off all your opponent's characters, so that they can't deal with some of your characters that are in the big beefy states that they are with some of the life that they have on them. And then Don't Let the Frostbite Bite is actually a really neat card too, where you can ready up all your characters. They can't quest or challenge, but they can be safe from an attack on your characters. You're using your Daisy Duck as your main lore, like aggressive lore questing, and your Donald Duck to help protect her and get some more lore off. You're using the evasive Daisy in red, so you can actually deal with some evasive targets, and then you are also going to be doing a lot of questing and a lot of spamming out characters as much as you can. You still do have quite a big weakness to steal and its removal, but we do have Sven to help with some of that, where we can actually ready up your characters and get them to survive a little bit longer. You also have a bunch of like the heal aspects of it, so if you do get some damage on your characters, you have an option to get some more draws with the Rapunzel. And there is going to be a bunch of times where you'll see a lot of lanterns in your hand. That I would aggressively mulligan away all lanterns but one if you do end up getting that, because the lanterns do help, but it does sometimes break in your hand. We'll show you off some of the gameplays here just in a moment, and we will show you how some of the games went, even if it's against the AI. So here we go. We're showing you some of the gameplay here. As you can see, I got a lantern in my hand. I only need one right away. You don't have too many turn 1 plays, so don't rely too much on that. You always do want to start with the evasive Daisy as your first go-to if you have her in the hand, because she can be quite helpful. You do want to grab the lantern out as quick as possible, and then you can start bringing Kenai. Kenai has a good 4 4 willpower so that he can survive most things except for a goat, apparently, that they just dropped. They are trying to see what we're going to play. We're going to actually add 2 more characters to our hand with the invited to the ball. That actually helps that aspect of it. You can put the Donald in a rested state to be bodyguard and give the Daisy the free lore. But when you have an evasive character out and you have your Donald, you don't really need to do that if you just want to quest with the evasive character only. They shifted into a Merlin, grabbed whatever card they wanted, which is interesting. I actually attacked with Machina so I get some more draws into the Merlin because I wouldn't kill Machina. And I ended up just playing more cards here. I'm just going to do more questing and then aggressively quest against my opponent that is trying to stop their ink to get a massive playoff there. They take out my Donald Duck and they bring out another Merlin Goat. I have a bunch of Donald Ducks in my hand, so I'm not sure if I'm trying to aim for that or if I'm trying to get some more quests out right now. So I end up just bringing out much more characters and bring out a I forget his name, but he's the red character there from Brother Bear, and he will help deal with the Merlins if they don't take care of him soon. One does sing Let It Go and get rid of my big guy. I have another one in hand, so I don't mind that. So I'm just going to end up just playing another one of him, and then playing my Donald Duck, give him another bodyguard state, and then put more lore on my Rapunzel, so I can get more questing off. And then I'm just showing you here that I can end the game without having to do much. I'll move on to our next game here, and we're going to aggressively try to get into a 1-drop. It's unfortunate, but I do not get that. We are going to start playing what we don't need out of our hand and try to catch up to this board state because they are gaining characters fast, and that could be up to 3 lore per turn for them, and we have to deal with it somehow. So we are going to drop our Daisy Duck so she'll be able to take out any of the Clarabelles, because that's what our main goal right now is to get rid of, is the Clarabelles. The computer decides to do just in time on the Ursula for some strange reason, so that's not going to be a normal basis here. We have the Donald Duck give our evasive character the lore. I wanted the Donald Duck out so I could start dealing with targets, so it was kind of a waste, but I had to get rid of one of the Clarabelles. And we are going to be going around here with our characters, and we are going through the list here of what we want to do. We're trying to bring out our other characters as much as we can while we heal up with the Rapunzel and get some more free draws out. Well, we are not too focused on doing the Took and Rut plays as much as we can. We want the just in time for some bigger characters that will actually help deal with targets on board, because that's the big weakness of the deck, is they don't have a lot of attack unless you get the Lemirs out. But here I just had the Donald Duck attack into the Ursula so I could start doing some more damage to them and have them attack into my Donald Duck. I want them to start attacking into that. I used the Invite to the Ball again and grabbed 2 more cards, which is actually a really good card for Amber to get cards off out of your deck and get free draws without having to use Rapunzel on it. And I really like it. As long as you're using a deck that revolves around a lot of characters, it's a really interesting card to play. I'm going to play all these cards out of my hand to put it to this quest from here, and I'm pretty much in control of the board. If they had a swords, grab your swords, yeah, grab your swords, they could have taken out some of my board pretty easily, but I still would have a bunch of characters left over, and I'm again doing the Invite to the Ball just to see what I can get. I got another one, so I might as well grab that too. So I grabbed almost like 4 cards from my deck from this, which is awesome. And then I just quest out with everybody on the field, and then I win for this small questing. We'll move on to our last game here. And in our last game, as you can see, we have another one of our lanterns in our hand. We want to keep that there as much as we can. Again, you aren't going to be doing too much on your turn 1. You're going to be doing a lot more on your turn 2. You always want to start with a character that you have that's on turn 2. Gets bounced to my hand with Click Cow Kicker, which is unfortunate. I end up wanting to bring out the Daisy Duck so I don't just lose a Daisy Duck, and then they sing the Storm Rages On. And I am now going to be behind by a bunch. I now drop Lumiere because I'm going to do 2 characters out this turn, and that way I can increase the attack of my other characters. Like start dealing with their board. They bring out their location, Badenon, which will let them bring out a free Pete if they have a Pete in their hand. They are going to I'm going to like drop a bunch of characters out and just swarm the board with what I had here. I'm going to put my Donald into my ink, and then I have to decide if I want to sacrifice any of my characters into the Pete. I do not. I just quest with the Kenai, and they play the you're welcome on one of my characters I don't mind losing, so it's all good for me. I'm going to just draw for my turn, play out some more characters, and play out my Maximus that will give a bodyguard and support for later. They are going to have a hard time getting through my Maximus now, and I am banking on that. They are playing the When Will My Life Begin, so one of my characters can't attack, so that would be my Maximus that they were in target. So it's okay because he has support, so I don't mind that. So I'm going to use his support ability, make my Kenai a plus 10 attack, so we can deal with anything on the board. So he deals with the location there, and then we are going to have my Donald Duck give the other Kenai a +1 in lore, so we get 10 there. We're going to do Invited to the Ball to grab 2 characters off the top of the deck again, and which is awesome because now I can play out my Coda, which will let me, I think it's Kenai and Coda, I keep getting mixed up here, so don't mind me on that. It's Coda for the big bear and Kenai for the little one. Yeah. And then they drop a whole bunch of villains to try to swarm the board. The Pete does his ability, brings in a free Pete, and then they decide to quest out. Now I have to start dealing with the board here, so it's going to be, or else it's going to get really unfortunate really fast. I want to do some damage to my Donald Duck so I can play my Rapunzel out and heal my Donald Duck by 2 and get some free draws off. I'm going to drop something else inside the Inkwell, and then drop 2 more Kenai and a Coda, and I will just quest and deal with some of the board that they have, because I'm going to have to do that. They don't have too much lore that they can gain off on their turn, but the Pete can out of nowhere get a lot of lore based on the actions played. They only had 1 card in hand, so we were assuming that they weren't going to have a lot of actions, so we took that risk, and then we decided to win from here. We're just showing off how much more I could have done in a turn, and then I can quest and challenge and do whatever I want. I'm going to take out the Pete just to show what else I can do with the deck, and then I am going to just do some more damage to characters just to get rid of them, and then quest out for game. I do really like this deck. It is a very high aggro deck, and I do recommend it. I just want to say it does still suffer against some of the steel removal and red removal, but definitely enjoy it. And if you like these gameplays, like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.